Hi, I'm Wade from Thoroughbred Diesel, and today we're going to be installing Pacbrake's AMP wireless air controller kit. Pacbrake has done a really good job in getting their air control kit integrated into one unit. So this is brand new for Pacbrake as far as the release goes. This air controller kit, we will link you inside of this video to do to show you the unboxing on this product, so we get you all the technical aspects of it. We're also going to link you inside this video to the installation of our air springs that we did on a 2021 Ford. This is going to be installed on that 2021 Ford to control our airbags. Now, the new AMP air spring controller kit, this is an app-based controller. It's really nice, and it is all fully integrated into one small unit. Before, you had a compressor, tank, your control valves, and all of it in separate components. They've moved all of that into one component. This is real-time air, so no tank is required here. You can add a tank if you decide you want to do that, but it's not required. This is real-time air, so it's going to control the bags simultaneously or individually, however you want to do it. That's all controlled through the app. And again, everything is routed through this, so this is going to mount directly on the frame of the truck, and we don't have to worry about mounting the compressor in a different location or anything like that. Kit comes with the air lines that you need to get you to both of your brackets, really heavy duty wiring harness, which is really nice. U-bolt frame that's going to go over the frame rail, and again, the whole kit, this is the brains of the operation. It's got the brain box on it, the control valve, and the compressor all in one handy little unit that clips or that bolts right to the frame of your truck. So let's go ahead and get started with our installation. The AMP wireless controller kit, and the part number at the time of this filming, and I forgot to tell you that when we did our intro, was HP 10327. This is actually a universal kit, so this is not year, make, and model specific. Now I'm here to tell you right now, on a 2021 Ford F350 single rear wheel, crew cab, short bed, limited edition with power steps, this will not mount on the frame rail. So the instructions tell you, they give you just a unistrut and a U-bolt setup, sandwich this around your frame, mount the Pacbrake kit to it. That's fine. A lot of trucks that's going to work for. For this specific truck, and maybe for your specific truck, it's not going to work. So I'm going to give you a couple of ideas on different places that you can mount this. Now, this controller can be mounted sideways. It can be mounted on its side like this. Obviously, it doesn't have to be, up and down per se. So you can mount this in a toolbox. You can mount it in your truck bed if you wanted to. You can mount it a lot of different places. We have found a cross member on the bed that is actually going to be perfect for this. It's really close to the transfer case. So what we're going to do to mount this, and this, Adam brought this up to me. Now, how do we explain this to guys in their driveway using just the parts that they've got inside the kit? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to cut these unistruts that they send to us. We're going to cut these down to fit this specific frame piece that we're going to go on this, and I'm going to take you underneath of it and I'm going to show you. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually cut these off with a chop saw. Might as well just throw the damn thing. We're going to cut these off with a chop saw to where they'll fit our mounting bar. In fact, you know what, Adam, let's go in the truck, let's show them where we're going to mount this, and then you guys will kind of understand. So what we want to do is we want to bring you on the truck and show you where we are. Right directly behind the transfer case here, there's a really nice cross member bar here. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually cut this unistrut down so it fits inside of there, okay? And then we're going to mount this compressor. We're actually going to mount it right here. Probably going to turn it this way so the air lines are running to the back like that. So that's where we're going to go with our compressor. It's going to be a really nice install. It's going to be tucked away really well. Going to get us close to the frame rail where we can run the lines out and everything will be good. So like I said, we're going to cut this down. All right, now we're going to have a little bit longer bolts than what the kit comes with. So you are going to have to go out to a hardware store. If you decide to do it like this, you can find another place if you want to. If you decide to do it the way we're going to do it, you're going to have to go out to the hardware store and you're going to have to get yourself some longer bolts. Not that big of a deal, but yeah, so we're going to go ahead and cut this down, and what we're going to do is we're just going to come back in here and show you when the pump is mounted up. All right, we wanted to come back in and show you our compressor kit mounted up on this truck again. We picked a cross member that was close to the rear of the transfer case here. Just went ahead and used the unistruts that come in the kit, cut those down and recessed them here, and then just went and bought ourselves some a little bit longer bolts and bolted it all up. Simple, it was easy. I tell you one thing that we did on the unistruts that really made it nice is we welded the nuts onto the unistrut itself. And then that way, when you put the unistrut up, what it does is it allows the, by welding the nuts on the inside, the nuts don't move, so you're able to bolt it up. So that was a little bit more fab work, you know, to do. Now again, everybody doesn't have access to a welder, but it's one of those things that with a universal fit kit like this, you're gonna run into stuff like that, and you kinda gotta think outside the box. So we're gonna move on and we're gonna get started with the second part of our installation. And what we're gonna do from this point forward is we're going to do, well, the next section of our video is gonna be our airline connection. So we're gonna do our incoming air for the compressor, and then we're gonna do our outgoing air going to the airbags, and we're gonna show you how to plumb that up and how we run it. So first we're gonna start with incoming air. Inside of the package that you will receive from Pacbrake, there is a filter setup here, and I'll show you how that works. So they send you a spare washable, cleanable foam filter. Then this is the actual filter cartridge itself, and then you get a fitting that comes with it that's push to lock for the airline. If you refer back to this video and you're wondering about how to change the filter inside this cartridge, there are 2 screws here in the center of the filter cartridge itself. You just remove those and that lets your bracket come off of it. Then you just pop the top off. This is the top for the filter cartridge. You just pop that off and you can change out your filter in there. So Pacbrake sends you a spare, which is really nice. And then the black air tubing in the kit is the tubing you want to use for your incoming air. So that's what we're going to do right now. And then all of these air fittings, these are all quick connect air fittings or push to lock, however you want to look at it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my black air line in and just push it in until it stops, and then pull on it, and then that tells you that it's connected and you're ready to go there. So you can get a pretty good length of this. And what we will do now is, obviously you don't need to see this as far as an installation goes because you can figure this out, but for the filter, just go ahead and screw the fitting on. And the way this mount is made is it's eared, so you have these little slits in it right here, or you have this push to lock. You can drill a hole and put the push to lock in there. However, it's kind of going to be more of a permanent mount. I'm going to use these recesses right here. And what we're going to do on this Ford, there's plenty of square holes in the framework and the bodywork. We're going to find one of those square holes, and we're going to use those recesses to put this filter. I'm going to put it center of the body, so that keeps it up and away from the water, so we don't have to worry about water permeating our incoming air for our compressor, because you don't want that. So we're going to show you where we mount it, mount the filter cartridge now. All right, so we're going to go ahead and mount up our incoming air filter. So first thing we did is we went ahead and run the black line in our kit again as for our incoming air. I've got a little bit of extra black line here in the shop, so I'm going to move to a different position. You get a little bit shorter piece, so you can mount this air filter anywhere. You just want to make sure that you keep it away from water spray. You just want to know the incoming air going into this compressor, you want it to be as good and clean as possible. So we've already run our line here, so we'll go ahead and just hook our air line into the bottom portion of the air compressor and push it until it stops. Now these are push to lock fittings, so if you need to disconnect these, the silver ring right here, you just push this in and then you can disconnect the line. So I've got that one. So now we're going to go back here to our filter mounting location. I like this above the drive shaft and giving myself plenty of room here, and I want to point the open portion of this filter canister to the back because I don't want water spray getting in here, so I want this facing this way as the truck lays. So we're going to go ahead and pick one of these square holes here on the frame to put it, and just turn it in there like so, and then turn it backwards. All right, I've got my air line here, and I just go ahead and test fit it up, pull the line tight. Right about there is where I want to cut it.
So I use the tool that Pacbrake gives you in the kit for cutting an air line. And we just go ahead and cut her like so. Then I take my air filter back down after I've test fitted it, like so. And I do my push to lock on my air line while it's down away from there. It just makes it easier on you. So we just push it onto the barb fitting, and this is push to lock, so it doesn't need anything other than just to be pushed up onto the fitting. Don't break the canister. And then we'll go back in here and remount it just like we did before. And again, moved it towards the back there so it doesn't get water spray in it. And there we are with our filter mounted and ready to go. Now you can go back through, zip tie up your lines, get everything secure that you like, and it will ride right there. All right, inside of your kit you have a red and a green set of lines. You can use whatever color you want to for right and left. I'm gonna put red on the right bag, which is gonna be the passenger side airbag, and green on the left, which is kind of gonna be hard for me because I'm always thinking about trailer wiring where the green wire is right, so too much information for you. Red is gonna be right for us, green is gonna be on the left. We make our connection at the tank or at the valve first, so we just go ahead and get the line prepped and ready to go. And then what we'll do is, get it untied before you start sending it, because it just makes it a lot easier on you to do that. And these are the same style fittings as what we have before on the other side. So this valve is marked with right and left. You can't actually see the left, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my red line on right. If I can get it to engage there. Red on right, and that end was just a little bit boogered up, so what I did was just cut it and I got me a clean end. Then we'll do my green on left. I think we'll fight it on this one, I'll just cut it too. All right, and then the back valve here is gonna be left. All right, and then what I'll do is I'll zip those two together, and then I'll go ahead and run them out the back. And what I'll do is I'll cut to length once I get back there, of course, but I'll probably run a few zip ties as we go along, just keeping everything together. We went ahead and brought our red and green air lines back here to the bags. Remember, red is going to our right bag, green is going to left. You do it however you want to. This is how we've set this truck up. But I wanted to talk just a little bit on this 6.7 Powerstroke. Very important to put your heat shield on the exhaust, because you can actually see that our line going to this bag is going to be pretty close proximity to that exhaust. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that that heat shield is there. So nothing really to show here. Same connections on the bag as what is on the compressor. It's just a push to connect fitting inside of the bag. So we're going to cut this and go ahead and run our air lines to the bag, and that has all of our air lines run. We have our outgoings to our bags. We have our incoming air from our filter going to the compressor. Now we're going to switch over and start working on our electrical side. All right, on to wiring. So the first wiring harness that we're going to work on, so there's two different wiring harnesses that come with your onboard compressor from Pacbrake. There is what I'm going to call the relay harness, and this is the harness that provides power to the compressor. I'm going to get the compressor end up here. So this is your compressor connection, and then this is your relay that is going to send signal to the compressor to come on. So on the relay wiring harness, you're going to have a constant battery power, you're going to have a constant negative, and then you're going to have a signal wire. Your signal wire is going to come from the control board, and then you're going to have the power wire that goes directly to the compressor. On this 2021 Ford, I could do some different stuff with the harness, but I'm going to work with what I've got here. We're going to put the constant power and negative on the driver's side battery,
and then we're just going to go ahead and send this signal wire to the compressor, and then we'll tie everything up underneath of the hood for that, and then we will do our other harness that's coming from the control board. So we're going to go ahead and knock this little portion of the harness or the electrical installation out with our constant power negative, and then we will have our signal wire ready for attachment from the other harness. All right, now we have our harness here that is coming from the control board. Okay, so 3 wires on this, and they're already stripped for you. The red wire is going to be a signal wire. So we're going to find a key-on power source. Now you can run this to constant power if you wish. However, with this compressor, it'll be on standby mode. So it's going to pull anywhere between 30 and 80 milliamps. So eventually it will drain your battery. So if you want to be able to run your compressor with the key off on the truck, put it on to constant power. However, know that it is going to have a small parasitic drain on your battery. Okay, we're going to put it on a key on power source, so we'll show you that here in just a second. Next is another constant ground. We're going to take this to the battery right here. And then the signal wire. The signal wire, you'll remember there's a signal wire from the harness going to the compressor. We're going to tie these two together. Pacbrake's already got a handy little butt splice on there, so we're just going to put that together and clean that up. So we're going to finish up the wiring here underneath of the hood, get everything tucked away. Then we're going to take you underneath the truck. We're going to show you the last plug-in, which is plugging in the compressor, and then we'll be good to go on electrical side, and then we'll download the app and show you that. For our signal wire, which is our last connection that we need to make underneath of the hood, Pacbrake sends you a inline fuse holder, and what they ask you to do is to go through your engine harness and find a key-on power source wire. Again, we talked about this. You can put it on a constant power source if you'd like, but it's going to run anywhere between 30 and 85 milliamps draw on the battery, so eventually your battery will go dead. So we're not going to put this on a constant power source, but we are going to put it on a key-on power source. I don't want to tap a wire, so I went out and I just got myself a fuse jumper. And on these 2021 Fords, the fuse box is on the passenger side here. The tall side of this is where you want to use your fuse holder, because then the box lid will shut. But really nothing new there. You just go through your fuses, find yourself a key-on power source with a test light. There, we've got one. Make sure that it doesn't have power on it when the key is off, and that's your key on power source. So we're going to go ahead and put our signal wire in here, which is the smaller of the red wires. I'm going to go ahead and splice that in, and then that's going to have us done underneath the hood. You just want to come through, clean everything up. I'm going to put that in a wire sheath and get it cleaned up, and yeah, then we're going to be ready for our connection at the air compressor, and then we'll be able to test this baby out. All right, our final electrical connector is your outgoing power coming from the underhood, from the relay side is going to be right here, and we're going to just go ahead and install it and click it. Make sure you get your connector right. So we'll go ahead and zip tie everything up and go with the harness coming from the control board, and we'll move everything out of the way there. Then we'll zip tie everything up. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick and get everything cleaned up, and then we will meet you back here and show you how to download the Pacbrake app and get ready to test it out. So we have our Pacbrake airbag and air controller and everything installed. We just wanted to show you kind of navigating and getting the app. Now the app is available for your Android phones and your Apple phones. The app that you're looking for, if you just search in your app store, if you just search for Pacbrake, you're only going to have the one choice come up. So you want the AMP wireless app. You know what, I'll just bring it over to you, bud. I don't know if the glare is going to get you. So you want the AMP wireless. So we're going to go ahead and download that. And it's ready to go. All right, so we're just going to open it up. Now, again, talking through an installation thing, the truck has to be on. Adam, I'm going to get a little closer here, because while we're looking at this, I think what I need to do is hand you this, and I need to go check the truck, make sure that the key is on.
So here's some fancy hold music for you while we're looking at that. Da 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 da. Keys on, everything's working just fine. You got a good shot on it, Adam?
Not bad.
Dynamic. Looks like we've got Bluetooth connection right here. So it comes up as soon as you come up and tells you how many PSI are in the bag. So to let air out of the bags, just hit the minus button, obviously. To put more air in the bags, you hit the plus button. Very reactive. If you want to set a preset, if you want to set a preset here, let's say I want to set a preset for 35. It's going to be in the 3, so I want to put it into my 3rd position. You press and hold the preset number. The app will shake, and then it's good to go. I think it's my fault because I'm touching on the screen, yeah. Yep. So there you go. So I've got some presets set up for 2 here. Actually, I don't. Set 25 or whatever for 2. There's 2, so now let's go 3. 3 will take us to 35, and it'll go past 35 and then air back down on it. And I said that, and there it didn't. So now remember, on the bags, you always want to run the bags at no less than 10 PSI when you're driving up and down the road. So we're going to go ahead and set that down. And reactive wise, £11 pounds is fine. We'll put that at preset 1. There you go. So we'll go to 2. Yeah. Go to 3. How about that? Pretty cool. The truck actually, I mean, obviously, when you're raising and lowering the bags, you're gonna get some raise of the truck. So, you know, one thing that's really nice about it is that if you're hooking up a trailer, if you just need just a little bit of clearance on trailer and you don't want to jump back in or you don't want to crank on the handle, you can always hit your preset like this and let the truck back down. Give you just the clearance that you need, and you can raise it back up, whatever you need to do. So here's what we like about this. The controller, the integrated controller, having the compressor, the air valve, and everything all in one compact unit. We really, really like that. Really, really like the app. The app is super user-friendly, very quick to connect with Bluetooth. Everything about the app and the controller we really, really liked. The bags are super, super heavy duty. This is a higher load rating that they've been in here lately. So it's a really, really nice set of bags. Again, we can link you in this video to the installation of the bags. But for this 2021 truck, the universal kit works fine. Just remember that when you mount your compressor, you're not going to be able to do it on the frame rail. If you guys find a spot, you know, link us in the comments below. Let us know where you found out about it, or where you found to put the the compressor. But yeah, so that's our full installation. If you guys got any questions about this Pacbrake product or any of Pacbrake's other products, exhaust brakes, they're very, very well known for their exhaust brakes. Obviously, our airbags that we're showing you here. So, got any questions about about Pacbrake? Please call, let us know, hit us up in the comments, like and subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.